For those of you who do not know, this is Nigel Farage. Farage was a pivotal figure in the 2016 Brexit campaign, leading to the United Kingdom's vote to leave the European Union. Following the referendum, he went on to form the Brexit Party, which later became Reform UK, continuing to advocate for a clean break from the EU and championing populist, right-wing causes. Farage testified before a U.S. House Judiciary Committee hearing on September 3, 2025, titled, Europe's Threat to American Speech and Innovation. His purpose was to warn that UK speech laws are creating an authoritarian situation that harms businesses and could set a dangerous precedent for the U.S.
And so now we've got, as the chairman illuminated a moment ago, we've got this issue involving Graham Linehan, who here in the United States made a joke and then is arrested in the UK, correct?
Yes, he's being arrested, or he was arrested for comments that he posted while here.
And that's correct, Mr. Farage, you agree?
It is.
And that joke had something to do with, as I've looked it up, trans-identified males and female-only space, and he made some joke about that issue.
That's exactly right.
And so we've got now someone being arrested for alleged transphobia or some sort of hate comment involving a joke on another continent. Now, in the meantime, we've had Mr. Farage talking about Lucy Connolly, right? And her fate, which I understand she got sentenced something like 31 or 32 months for having put out a social media post. Now, that social media post has been alleged to have tied to some incitement. She deleted the post, but the post was in response to violence, right? And on the heels of a whole lot of issues involving crime in the UK. Whatever the connection is, right, we're saying there is crime in the UK. Now, here's my question, Mr. Farage. How do you feel from the standpoint of borders in the UK? Are open borders healthy for either the United States or the UK?
No, they're disastrous.
And are they having a deleterious effect with respect to crime and culture in the UK?
Yes, they are. It's been a debate that's been very difficult to have without being screamed at, but we are now having that debate.
And so now we've got a moment here where we've got someone being put in jail for putting out something on social media that is allegedly transphobic. And so my question is, I wonder what's going to win out? What's going to win out when the questions of Islamophobia and the tenets of Islam mash up against transphobia? What will the determiners of truth in the UK government decide? What will those who make decisions about what we can say and what we cannot say do when these worlds collide? Would you have any comment on that, Mr. Farage?
In the Lucy Connolly case, it's very interesting that this horrific murder of 3 young girls happened. The country was in very deep shock, very deep shock. The government deliberately withheld the truth about who the perpetrator was. And it led to a sea of speculation. It turned out ultimately that the man that committed those murders was in fact UK born, had not come over on a boat, as was being said on social media. Just goes to show that actually, however bad the news is, people deserve to know the truth about a situation. It stops that frenzy of speculation.
Farage went on to say, this could happen to any American man or woman that goes to Heathrow, that has said things online that the British government and British police don't like, Farage told the House Judiciary Committee on Wednesday. It is a potentially big threat to tech bosses, to many, many others. Still others like Jamie Raskin, who has been serving as the U.S. representative for Maryland's 8th Congressional District since 2017, had flatly rejected the premise of a free speech crisis in Britain. He pointed to Farage's own career as evidence, noting that the UK government has not shut down GB News, the channel where Farage hosts a show and regularly criticizes the government. He used this to argue that robust political dissent is still permitted in the UK. Raskin asserted that the hearing was a drive-by hit against a strong Democratic ally, intended to distract from domestic issues in the U.S.
There is a free speech crisis in America today, but there's no free speech crisis in Britain. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has not shut down GB News, where Mr. Farage has his own show. To the people of UK who think this Putin-loving free speech imposter and Trump sycophant will protect freedom in your country, come on over to America and see what Trump and MAGA are doing to destroy our freedom. You might think twice before you let Mr. Farage make Britain great again.
I'm delighted to reacquaint with the charming Mr. Raskin. That was delightful testimony you gave me earlier on with your speech. But hey, that's fine. You can say what you like. I don't care. You know, I come from the land of Magna Carta. I come from the land that gave us the Mother of Parliaments, and it doesn't give me any great joy to be sitting in America and describing the really awful authoritarian situation that we have now sunk into. It is a potentially big threat to tech bosses, to many, many others. This legislation we've got will damage trade between our countries, threaten free speech across the West because of the knock-on rollout effects of this legislation from us or from the European Union. So I've come today as well to be a klaxon, to say to you, don't allow, piece by piece, this to happen here in America. And you would be doing us and yourselves and all freedom-loving people a favour if your politicians and your businesses said to the British government, you've simply got this wrong.
In 2023, UK police made over 12,000 arrests for online communications offences, a significant increase from previous years, with civil liberties groups raising concerns about the impact on free speech. These arrests, often under legislation like the Communications Act 2003, target offences such as sending offensive, indecent, or menacing messages online. The number of arrests for these speech-related crimes has been steadily increasing, with a projected 30 arrests per day in July 2025. These 2023 projections proved to be correct when reports from early to mid-2025, citing analyses of police custody data, indicate that over 30 people are arrested daily for online speech offences, equating to around 12,000 arrests annually under laws criminalizing grossly offensive or indecent communications. This rate has reportedly more than doubled since 2017.